What is up, guys? Welcome to my review for Supergirl Season 3, Episode 17, titled Trinity. Before my review, though, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description for better daily updates on my videos, as well as daily polls on the arrowverse. So with that in mind, let's get into the review. So, with this episode being called Trinity, it is all about the Trinity of World-killers, which happened to, because of this episode, only really existed for an episode and then one scene in a previous episode, and I will talk about that later in the review because that did happen at the end of the episode. First of all, I want to talk about the storyline with Lena and the kryptonite, and this storyline really, I definitely did not like this storyline because sure, Lena has kryptonite, but I don't understand why Supergirl and the DEO and like Alex and John Jones are getting so mad at her and angry at her. It doesn't make any sense because sure, they can say that she only has her kryptonite to use against Supergirl or Superman, but I mean, other Kryptonians with other people, other villains with Kryptonian abilities who are weak to kryptonite have showed up on Earth and have tried to hurt people, and specifically, Rain is right there, and I for some reason I remember her being like kind of immune to kryptonite earlier this season. Did they just get rid of that? I don't know, but it turns out she clearly is weak to kryptonite, so it doesn't make sense to me how Supergirl and the DEO could get angry at her for having kryptonite when it's so clear that she kind of needs it, and she doesn't need it, but it's not like she's going to use it against Supergirl. I mean, she probably will if she turns bad, but she's trying to use it against other Kryptonians. And this is another thing that showed up in like the beginning of season 2 when Superman complained to John that he had kryptonite, and that was like the worst part of that character. I actually really like this version of Superman, but the fact that he really complained about another character having kryptonite when he himself has gone up against other Kryptonians like General Zod, when kryptonite could have been useful and against maybe like a Doomsday or something. So that whole conflict that they keep on bringing up, it really makes no sense to me, and I really don't like it. The second storyline of the episode, and the main storyline of the episode as well, was Supergirl, the DEO, and Legion of Superheroes trying to stop the eclipse that's happening that will completely cover the sun and take away her powers that the world killers are seemingly making happen, and she did lose her powers later in the episode. This storyline was definitely better than the storyline with Lena and the kryptonite because it was pretty interesting. I mean, it was a little crazy that they were able to destroy the world so easily by making an eclipse that lasts forever, like just by standing there. Like, I don't understand why they needed to make them people if that was the case. They could have just made a weapon for that. Like they didn't really need to be people. But this storyline was definitely pretty interesting. The way that they went into that other dimension where Rain was, or Sam was, and then Rain was as well, was pretty cool. And I don't know, in general, this storyline was definitely much better than the other one, but it wasn't amazing either. It ended in a really weird note. First of all, there was these really bad fight scenes. Like, usually Supergirl does not have good fight scenes, and this episode definitely didn't have the worst fight scenes, because the worst fight scenes were of the season, at least, were in the last episode and the episode with Lily and Luthor using the Lexo suit. And the fight scenes in this episode were really not good, and that kind of sucks because there was this awesome team-up shot of Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, Alex, Mon-el, and Saturn Girl, and it was a really cool team-up shot. And looking at this team, they kind of feel like, look at them right now. They look like a Justice League kind of, because they're a really powerful team, and definitely the most powerful out of all the teams. I mean, I'm not sure, but like, they have this team-up shot, and then they follow that with pretty lame fight scenes. They have the team-up shot of all the world killers, and you see they're about to clash and have these awesome fight scenes. Then that really never happens. Obviously they clash to have fight scenes, but the fight scenes are definitely not good. Alex's new suit, though, in these scenes was actually really cool. I like the fact that she gets something more than a gun. Like, she's always had this space gun, but I think she lost it and just went back to a normal gun, which is really boring in a TV show. Like the same thing as with Wild Dog and Diggle on Arrow. So it is cool. I like the fact that she got her new gun and those magnets on her suit. It's just the fight scenes in this whole scene and in this whole set piece and in the whole episode in general that were not that great. So the big thing that happened in this episode, and the thing I want to talk about the most, is the world killers dying and Rain getting their powers. Now the fact that Rain's gets their powers is, I don't really know what I feel about this whole thing. First of all, the fact that they died is a little weird, and by a little I mean really weird, because they were setting the world killers up for a while now. There was Purity who joined up, and then we never saw her again. We saw her once. I think this is the third time we saw her, and then we saw Pestilence in the last episode, and then this episode, and both of them die, and then that's it. They're gone. Their powers are still here, with the Rain getting the Sonic Scream and those claws or those nails that Pestilence had, which is just such a weird power to give one of the main villains. But I guess she's not really a main villain because she died. I said in one of my videos, I don't remember which one, but I said that I wanted the season finale to have like this army of world killers versus Supergirl, Superman, Martian, Manhunter, and like a lot of Legionnaires. I wanted a lot more Legionnaires to show up from the future to help them fight this world killer battle, but it turns out we're definitely not getting that, and it's just Rain, which kind of makes me disappointed and a lot less excited for the season finale, because I feel like it's just going to be a fight between Supergirl and Rain, and Supergirl's going to win, but the rest of the characters are, I don't really know what's going to happen with them. It's probably going to be pretty similar to something like not Superman Doomsday, just the death of Superman, where the Justice League are fighting Doomsday and they all lose. And I'm not saying that the Supergirl is going to die. They kind of already did that, but I don't think the other characters, other than Supergirl, will get much to do in the season finale, which is very disappointing because of what I wanted to happen. And the fact that they killed off the world killers really came out of nowhere. I did not expect it to happen, but that's because they shouldn't have. They tried to develop these characters. Rain got very developed. I thought Purity was developed pretty well. It was just Pestilence that wasn't developed at all, but they could have had more episodes to develop her. But no, they just kill her and Purity off. It just felt really random. And also the fact that Rain gets more powers is very similar, and a little too similar to DeVoe on this season of The Flash, getting other people's powers, other villains' powers, and other characters' powers. Like, Rain's gonna have, like, and also the fact that she is way overpowered at this point. She was already overpowered before she got the Sonic Cry and Pestilence's claws, but now she has Kryptonian powers and other things that I really remember, but that is a little crazy to me, and I don't really think they should have done this. So, in conclusion, I said a lot of negative things about the episode, but that's just because I didn't like it, but I also didn't hate it. I thought there were a lot of good things about it, like Alex's new suit, the team-up shot with the whole Team Supergirl, and really the main storyline was mostly pretty good, except for the fight scenes and the fact that the world killers died at the end. So I know I said a lot of negative things, but that's because the things that are positive, there's really not much to say other than like the 20 seconds that I just talked about it. So I will give this episode a 6.9 out of 10, which isn't a terrible score, but it is the score of an episode that I'm whatever on. I don't hate it, which is like anything lower than 6 I basically hate, but I don't like it either, which is why I can't really give it anything above a 7. So 6.9 is its score. But let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.